Hello, Natasha Rome here, and this is my husband, Eric.
Hello.
All right. And have you ever been in a situation where you are staying the same? There's something that you want to change in your life, but it just keeps going in a loop, and it just doesn't, nothing happens with it, and you want to get out. So, we are going to talk to you today about an aggressive change that we're making. And I did post a quote the other day about when the pain of staying the same outweighs the pain of change, transformation can begin. So, are you looking for a transformation?
Oh, definitely.
Okay. So, we've actually we've tried a few things that, like, we're talking about physical health here, and everything goes together to make a change: your mental state, your feelings, and your actual physical action that you take. And yeah, so Eric, if you want to let us know about what brought you to the decision to start the carnivore diet.
I've basically have gone through a number of thoughts on how to better my life in different ways, spiritually, mentally, physically. But physically, something that has came up recently, I went to a physical and my blood work actually came quite high with LDL. And we could talk about that maybe another video, another time. But cholesterol kind of a little bit high. Then I started becoming worried about that. So I started investigating further in how to get healthier and without taking the direction of medicine and pills and that kind of thing, but something more natural.
Like medicine for the rest of your life.
Exactly. Once that happens, then you're stuck with medication ongoing for the rest of your life. So that's not something I want for my body, for my health. So then I decided to investigate further, and I came across something called the carnivore diet.
And so before you've done successfully understood the ketogenic diet as well, and that's something that benefited you, or what happened with that?
Definitely. That was something that allowed for me to have a steady energy level. I didn't crash in the middle of the day with the way that I used to, having just a regular carb and sugar and just all this kind of normal, common type of North American diet. But I happily was actually sustaining the same energy throughout. And then it became a little difficult to maintain, to keep watching how much fat I'm having, how much protein I'm having, how much carbs I'm having. So it started becoming more and more difficult the longer I was on it. But it definitely there was benefits.
Okay. So the difficulty would be basically everyone has their own lifestyle and routine. And so our routine here, you go to work, you come home, and we always feel like we don't have enough time for everything in a day. There's not enough hours in a day. And then we want to balance having fun. We want to balance household chores and time to ourselves and time with each other. And those are things that happen here. And so the difficulty would be just sometimes not being able to maintain a routine. And it's really just all about our own choices. So what stood out to you was that your energy level was able to remain the same. You weren't necessarily crashing. And so I believe this is all related to the being pre-diabetic is related to insulin levels and sugars. And so I think the main thing that has is like many of our downfall is processed foods and sugars. Do you agree?
Oh yeah, definitely. You go to the grocery store and you can't find a thing without sugar. The odd thing here and there you can actually find, but they're difficult to find out there at the grocery store. So cutting out the sugars and the carbs, the insulin and so on, it definitely helps your health.
Okay. And so you started the carnivore diet about how long ago?
About 10 days ago.
Okay. And so just off the top, what are the results from stopping the eating habits that you've had for 10 days? What are the results?
The first day was very difficult, and throughout this entire 10 days, it's becoming a lot easier to to manage the temptations. that has been a big thing for me. For instance, I love eating popcorn. My kids know that as well. I think everyone in their home knows that. But when the kids had left about half a bowl of popcorn just out there on the counter in the kitchen, and as soon as I saw it, I'm like, okay, I really would love to should take one more, so one little piece of that just to have a taste of it. Something I really enjoy. Other foods as well that are on the counter there, the left cookies or any other thing that is tempting to me to have. Even rice, something that I haven't had for 10 days. Looking at that one, knowing the taste, how good that taste
And
is,
smelling it.
and smelling it
Yeah.
definitely. I mean, seeing it, smelling it, but the whole experience is right there and there as a temptation, because that has been one of the most difficult things. But other than that, once again, the energy level is great. I haven't crashed. I haven't felt tired. I know some other people feel differently in the first few days. They do feel a low energy, but thankfully I have not. And I've also have lost 10 pounds so far. I know that the first 10 is actually mainly water, but from here on, we'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, so that really shocked us. Videos and from doctors and other people who have done this diet, just consistently, I found that there are same type of shocking results, right? And we're not here sit to say for you to do this. This is like our video diary to let you know our journey and what we've experienced. And he's already done 10 days. I think it was after 7 days that he lost the 10 pounds. And that's like huge because we get motivated from progress, right? Or from small achievements. That's true motivation there, but we have to act and start that process, right? And so that's really cool. So I'm going to be joining on Tuesday, which is after Labor Day officially. Like my body I actually feel like I don't want all this other stuff to eat. I feel like I'm at the point where I want to be healthy as well and have some drastic results. I personally was on the Mediterranean diet before, which to me is not a diet. It's like a lifestyle change. So I found that was I was really happy to change over everything in my kitchen. So our groceries were more vegetables and meat and olive oils, feta cheese, olives, things like that, that you would find in a Mediterranean salad, fish, and different things like that. That overall, if that's what's in your kitchen, then that's what you're cooking with and that's what you're eating. And so I found that lifestyle change and even prepping all the vegetables into washing, cutting them up and putting them in the fridge, which I'm not a prep type of person. I enjoyed it and it was a lot of fun to do that and feel good. You feel like everything's fresh and that you're not eating junk. And I think too, the difference with the carnivore, as you mentioned before, with keto, you started to have difficulty of just sticking to things and understanding everything and counting this and making sure you're still in ketosis. And yeah, and so you have to actually look at things and make sure, or even test things to make sure you're still on the right track. But with carnivore, it just lessens all of the stipulations and with understanding what the carnivore diet does for you. Do you have a brief explanation of what the carnivore diet is?
Just simply eats beef or meat products. There's different types out there. There's different levels, some people call them, but some people just strictly just beef, salt, water. That's mainly it. But other people have animal products along with beef. There's chicken, poultry, and also eggs as well, milk, anything really that comes from an animal. And then there's others who actually include other spices too. And
Yeah. So everyone's different, especially there's also differences between men and women being on this diet. So I'm going to add links below to what the carnivore diet is. In the article, it has the 4 different types. And also I have an article about the differences between men and women being on the keto diet and the carnivore diet. We've talked about keto for many more years than carnivore, so it's flipping out. as the wrong thing. It's a carnivore diet. And we love meat, so I love barbecue. I even have an Instagram called Little Blue Barbecue, and that stems from just being a very foodie family and so on. So we're actually going to be enjoying this as well. It does not feel like we're going to be cutting, like, missing too much, except our, I would say, temptation in cutting things out like that. But once you're seeing the benefits quickly and internally and externally, then maybe your mind could see something that you're tempted with and say it's not worth it.
Yeah.
But yeah. So then you were saying, like, just grabbing that one popcorn, what would you normally say from your habits before in terms of, oh, just I can just have this. It's no big deal. Is that kind of how it was?
Yeah, something was there, and I'm really hungry, or after work, you find yourself with something in front of you, like one little piece of something. It's not going to affect your entire life or your entire health. For me, grabbing something small wouldn't be an issue, but is that consistent? Grabbing this and grabbing that, and then grabbing continuously little pieces here and there, it adds up. So, but that was really my attitude towards the food. So it's been quite a challenge, but it's been really good to refrain from actually having that.
All right. And we're going to have weekly updates. We can talk more about all of these things as well in our next videos. And so we are talking about aggressive change. Now, this is going along with, even at this time in our life too, we want to make changes. We want to improve on every aspect of our lives. And this aggressive change to do this particular diet, we are in our 40s and it's like a reset, and we want to make sure that we can live a long and fulfilling life as much as possible for as long as God wills us to be here. And so we want to be able to be healthy, to take care of ourselves so that we can be a blessing to each other and our family and friends and all of you. We want to still be around. And so making this decision is something that we can maybe do you find that doing something alone make it more difficult?
Yeah. For instance, if your cooking is incredible, if you were not on board or coming on board, it would be continuously more challenging for me because I would smell the delicious food she's making, or I would see it as well. So that the fact that she would also be having some of the carnivore diet also, then that makes it much easier. And so if someone in your home or someone around that you're partnering with to make that happen for you to get healthier, that's great. It'll make it easier.
Cool. One of my favorite smells is barbecue, so
That's a
that's
win
not a
right there.
problem. But yeah, we love, like, sauces and all kinds of cuisines from all around the world. And so imagine one person being on this diet and all this other temptation is around. So it's much more empowering when we're doing this together as a team. So I'm excited to see what happens. And I guess we will find out more of how this aggressive type of change in our lives is going to impact everything, our time, our spending, and the outcomes that we want. And thanks for joining us today. And I can't wait to see you next week with our carnivore diet journey.